We continue our coverage, taking a look at the insanity defense and how attorneys handle these kinds of cases. Today, we talk with defense attorney Leon Spies, who successfully secured a verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity. And how many cases would you say that you've been a part of?
I have no way of knowing. I've been at this for 50 years.
Was what he did when he fired that gun into her body premeditated, deliberate, done with malice aforethought?
They look to me for guidance, salvation in a legal sense. I think that there's an underlying skepticism in the public that mental illness should be considered a defense to a crime. Mental illness is so underappreciated, undertreated, underrecognized. I think it creates an environment where jurors and some judges are reluctant to understand the impact of mental illness on a criminal behavior.
Cases like this are rare.
I've only had 3 cases where insanity has been an issue in the case. Diminished responsibility has been more frequent. But as I mentioned before, mental illness plays a role in many, many cases, whether it's a defense or not. It could be a response to a sudden trauma, a sudden threat.
Here's a more detailed breakdown.
The question is whether or not at the time that the crime was committed, the person was insane. That is, that they were either by reason of severe mental illness or a diseased and deranged state of mind, either incapable of understanding the nature and the quality of what they were doing, or because of that mental illness were incapable of distinguishing right from wrong. And the test is whether at that moment they were insane and incapable of either knowing the rightness or wrongness of what they did or the nature and the quality of their act.
When taking on a case, Leon Spies starts his defense.
Recruiting the best possible experts as you can, gathering all the information you can from medical providers, social workers, therapists, trying to distill it down into an argument, a persuasive argument to explain why this happened.
He says there's gaps in the medical and social work industries that make it tough for some to recognize mental illness. Also, the stigma that still surrounds it.
Shame, a lack of resources, being discouraged by family members from seeking help. Physicians and therapists don't always see all the facts in the background, too, to get an accurate diagnosis. And so, unfortunately, when a case comes to me, it's often a matter of doing a psychological or a psychiatric autopsy on trying to reconstruct what got a person to where they are.
Another big decision: who will decide the outcome of his client's fate.
Finding a jury that is willing to listen, to set aside any preconceived notions that they have about mental illness. And you'll also find in selecting a jury that lots of jurors have had experience with mental illness, either in their own lives or the lives of their friends or family.
Is it disheartening when you read comments or you see comments and you know that's not how it is?
First of all, I try to avoid social media as much as I can, but on the other hand, it's a good learning tool too, to ferret out how people might feel in a community about the allegations facing your client.
Spies says not to follow what you see about a defendant online. You have other resources.
Go to the courthouse. It's a public forum. They can sit in on a trial and watch one. Educating oneself about how things really work as opposed to social media buzz and rumor and innuendo. Go to the courthouse and watch a trial.
He says it's the work that he does, not just for his clients.